Hey everybody, my name is Anthony Cofrancesco from BrainyFlights.com, and today I'm going to share with you 3 tips that are going to make traveling suck less. So if you're traveling during the holiday season, there's a good chance you're going to run into snags that are going to be frustrating and just cause you big headaches throughout your trip. So these 3 tips, if you apply them onto your future travels, they're going to make your traveling more fun, less stressful, and a little bit more luxurious. So tip number 1 is going to center around TSA PreCheck. So if you've ever been standing in a line at the airport and you're in the line for security and then you see some person come out of nowhere and they cut in front of you, and you might think, man, that jerk, they probably are flying first class and that's why they're cutting in front of me in line. And the answer is they're probably not flying first class. Maybe they are, who knows, but it's not just because they're rich, it's probably just because they have something called TSA PreCheck. And TSA PreCheck is just a government program. It costs $85 and it lasts for 5 years, so you can do the math to see how cheap that is. And it essentially lets you skip the major airport security lines, and then when you go through actual security, you don't have to take off your shoes, and you usually can keep your laptop in your bag. So that is a real big win. Additionally, tip number 2 is about getting into airport lounges. So a lot of the time when you're traveling during the holidays, it's very busy and it's very crowded in the airport terminal. So you're fighting for a spot to charge your phone, it's just a mess. So what I recommend is, if you can, get into the VIP airport lounges. Now you're probably saying, Anthony, I can't get into the VIP airport lounges because I'm not flying first class. And to that I would say, check and see what credit cards you have. Some credit cards, believe it or not, actually give you free access for you and your family to get into lounges. Now, if you don't know what lounges are, if you've never been in one, I'll tell you, they're pretty fantastic. Usually they're gonna have things like at least free Wi-Fi, comfortable places to sit, but most of them are gonna have free food, free alcohol, and then sometimes even really cool amenities like getting massages or manicures inside of the lounge. Tip number 3 is about flight cancellations and flight delays. The general rule of thumb that a lot of people don't know is that if your flight is canceled, if your flight is delayed, and it is the airline's fault, you are probably entitled to compensation. So for example, if an airline is flying a really big plane, but because of mechanical issues they have to switch to a smaller plane, and in turn they have to take 30 people off of that flight, and they inconvenience those 30 people are entitled to something from that. The best way to find out what you're entitled to is first go and talk to the person at the ticketing counter. If you need to, talk to a manager, but then also send an email to the airline describing the situation and explaining that you want compensation for your troubles, especially if it is the airline's fault. Now, for all those tips, you can find additional videos on my YouTube channel. Additionally, if you go to BrainyFlights.com, I have an entire 4-hour course in which I give you all of my travel tips and tricks that are going to save you hundreds every year on travel, while letting you travel beyond your budget and stay in hotels that you never thought you'd be able to stay into and see more destinations than you thought were possible. So if that sounds interesting, go check out BrainyFlights.com, check out the YouTube channel, and if you're seeing this on YouTube, I hope that you would subscribe to the channel and give this video a thumbs up. Have a great day.